Active.
One more guest. I'm trying to cram him in. This is going to be our fifth guest for these 2 hours. Coming up next is my friend, my hero, SupaTim. SupaTim, are you there, SupaTim?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not a Zoom guy, so I gotta make sure everything is everything. What's up, Mazi?
Man, thank you so much for joining me. It's so funny. Like you are, I don't know if you recognize this, but you were the first person to interview me on cable access television. I remember I came out, and through you, I got a chance to meet um, a number of artists, and I've been able to see your work grow in media, and you're doing so much for the community, always have. And so I just wanted to bring you on these airwaves to be able to talk about one of your current projects, and then maybe share a little bit more about your work more broadly. So,
With the current community project I got going on right now this week, we're doing a clothing drive, a spring clean out, super spring clean out clothing drive. So springtime, you do some spring cleaning, clean out your closets and get some of them old clothes that you haven't wore that you outgrew. Hopefully, some clothes that's too big for those folks that's working out and getting in shape, and just give them to people who need them a little bit more. That's a lot of people I know. We just got clothes up on top of clothes that we don't wear. I throw away clothes. I give away from the because I buy clothes and I wear them once or twice before I buy a couple of more shirts and things of that nature. So I find myself being the same way and just collecting clothes as opposed to just getting clothes to wear, and end up just giving them to those in need. If you move to the city like I do a lot, you see a lot of people in need, whether it's homeless people or homeless shelters. So I decided, let's just do a little spring clean out, see if anybody has anything they want to give away. Bring them to me, and we'll make sure they get out to people that need them. So we'll
where
be
are you
doing that.
clothes at?
Say it again.
Where are you collecting the clothes at? Where can people bring clothes to?
We'll be collecting clothes this Friday evening from 4 to 6 p.m. at City Gear DC, right on the corner of North Capitol Street and Florida Avenue Northwest. It's 1538 North Capitol Street Northwest. You can drop off some clothes and then pop in and buy some more clothes.
What made you decide? I mean, you talked about your own experience, but is this the first time you've done this clothing drive, or has this been something you've been doing for a minute?
I do random things that pop in my head over the last 10, 15 years. Like I said, I was going through my closet and seeing a bunch of stuff that I wasn't wearing that I gave away and decided to just kind of reach out to people and see if they had some other stuff that they can help out with as well. So a lot of things I do is just kind of, if I see something that needs to be done, if I have the time to do it, the resources to do it, then I just kind of go from there and try to get it done.
One of the things I try to do on the show is use it to inspire other people to follow the lead, or in some cases to join the efforts of folks that are doing stuff in the community. What are some of the other things that you've done over the last 15 years that have
Ooh.
allowed you to make a difference here in the communities that you're working to impact?
What's interesting is that because I'm a humble person, despite being your hero SupaTim, I'm a very humble person. So when I do for the community, I don't do it for recognition. So a lot of stuff I forgot that I've done. It's not that I run into somebody or meet somebody and they remind me of what I've done. But we've done clothing drives, we've done food drives. I've worked most of the time with Portia 911, one of DMV's best female hip hop, old school female hip hop artists. She don't rap no more. She's too old to rap now. But she is doing community work with the kids through her project, her organization, Creative Vibes, doing art therapy with the kids and people in the community. And I started out doing most of my community work with her. I said we've done food drives, clothing drives. I got a grant through the Awesome Foundation, to buy camping mats to give to the homeless or those who are sleeping outside on the ground. They was able to give mats to be on instead of sleeping on the hard cold ground. We've taken kids to basketball games. We provided resources for kids in the community. I was an ANC commissioner for a little bit before I had to move out of my neighborhood and give that seat up. So I'm a former elected official. Something I wasn't looking at doing, but because of my work in the community, the other ANC commissioners or people in the community that I work with was like, Tim, you should go ahead and do it because you always like in the community anyway. So might as well just. So I was like, if the people vote for me, I'll do it. And they voted. So I had to do it. But it's just been so much. Anything that I can do to kind of reach out and make sure people in DC, especially Black people in DC, have what they need, I'm always willing to either take the lead and do it, help somebody else who's already doing it, and just make sure people in DC get what they need.
Can we talk a little bit about your work in media? Like I said, I met you through your cable access show, and actually, I remember the other guest you had on that show was Dior Ashley Brown. It was the first time I met her.
Yeah,
We got an opportunity to collaborate a few times since then, and she's just doing her thing
yeah.
as a musician here in the space and an organizer. Can we talk about your work in media?
I've been doing media officially doing media since 2006. I started out at DC at DC Public Access Cable, and did a hip hop show called The Cipher. Did a basketball show called City Hoops TV. All my shows was kind of based on promoting Black folk in DC. And once I started doing it, learned how to do it, and got okay at doing it, I kind of started expanding to see what else can I do to help expose the talented people in DC, the talented Black people in DC. So kind of branched off to poetry shows. Then I moved over to Arlington to do shows out there. That's where we did our show at. And I kind of mixed all my shows and everything I was doing in one show called Super TV. So we had hip hop, we had comedy, we had conversations, we had, you know what I'm saying, things going in the community. Just kind of have a platform to put what people were doing in DC and in the DMV, that was positive on a platform that could be seen by a little bit more people.
I'm curious. Is the reason, and this is a real question, is the reason why, or better, what's the reason you keep making it very clear that part of your motivation is to serve specifically Black people? Are you feeling like Black people are not getting the kinds of supports and services that you feel like Black folks need, or is it just that's where your heart is because that's where you're from?
Um, More so of that. That's what my heart is because that's where I'm from. I'm Black, so you can't do for others till you do for yourself. You can't help your neighbor if they hungry, if you hungry in your house. And being from DC, growing to DC, having family that struggle, my family struggled, friends struggle, just the city in general struggling, just wanting to see our people here in the city where I'm from have as much as they should have as talented people who just deserve it.
How do you feel like the city has changed with you as a witness and as an organizer in it over, let's stick with that 15 years. Over the last 15 years, for better and for worse, how do you feel like the city and the region have changed?
There's more opportunities, especially the government itself has provided more opportunities for their residents to uh, strive. Before, when other mayors that will go unnamed to make sure I don't get any backlash were running the city, we didn't have as many resources to help as people thought we did. And then when that mayor moved on and we got Mayor Williams and other mayors after that, we started becoming a city that would grow in certain ways so that money can be generated to help those in need, to provide housing, provide job training, provide scholarships, improve the schools, improve the rec centers, um, open businesses that provide jobs, things that weren't available before. I understand there's a lot of conversation for a long time about housing prices, but that's not something that government can control. But the government does do their part to make sure you have the resources to get a job to afford those high price luxury apartments. So that's what I've seen. More things going on in DC. We just had Emancipation Day for the 20th time this past Sunday. The Emancipation Day celebration, actual Emancipation Day is tomorrow. Um, the new library, National Stadium, things of that nature. Audi Field, there's so much that's come to DC that allows us to enjoy being in DC, work in DC, make money in DC. The arts space has been improved so that artists can have funding to do things, so that artists have spaces to do things. And it's a lot more that has been provided from a business standpoint, government resource standpoint, social standpoint that has been improved. But if you're not in the city and you're still living in the past in the days of the other mayor, you won't really respect and embrace the changes and take advantage of what's available being in DC. It's a lot more people have moved. They complain about the people that's moved into DC, the transplants that they call them. There's a reason why they transplanted from where they were to DC because of the opportunities. But if you're not doing your part to take advantage of those opportunities to be able to live in DC and thrive in DC, then you're just going to sit back and complain about what everybody else has that you failed to work for.
Super Tim, as we get ready to wrap up, can we do two things? One, there's a number of people, sometimes people that run foundations or just people that are individuals that are generous, who when they hear about things that excite them, they decide to invest in it. Can we talk about one, can you re-announce the clothing drive this Friday, like where people can go drop off their stuff, but then what you want to do after that, or what activities you have coming up after that that the community could collaborate with you to support?
That's a lot. So for this Friday again, we are doing super spring clean out clothing drive. We'll be collecting clothes from all age ranges, gently used clothes, new clothes, clean clothes. Only bringing them clothes that you just wore to the club last week and need to be taken to a cleaner. Make sure they clean. And everything's going to Martha's Table. So you drop them off at 1538 North Capitol Street Northwest at City Gear. They're going to be partnering with us to be the location to collect all the items and all that's collected Friday will be picked up and distributed or given to Martha's Table to be able to distribute to the community.
And then this future.
After in the future, it's a lot in the future outside of just Super Radio, which I'm be on live at 5 o'clock myself on my radio show. Community Super Radio is also a community internet platform that kind of provides a space for the community. But as far as in the community, I'm getting back out into the community doing my DocuDC program. DocuDC is short for Document DC, where we use media to open up doors to introduce people to what's going on in DC. A lot of things I was talking about going on in DC, a lot of people don't know about. But through media myself, I've been able to be in spaces that I probably never would be in, meet people I probably never would meet, like the great Mazi, and be involved with what different people have going on. And I just want other people who don't know about these spaces to be in these spaces network. So DocuDC, you can follow on Instagram at DocuDC, DOCUDC. And if you got a phone, that's all you need. We're going to take pictures, we're going to do interviews, we're going to do videos, and use media to put people in these spaces to experience DC, meet people in DC, show people that we're meeting in these spaces who we are, so we can use those interactions to grow individually, professionally, and just make some good connections. So that's what I got coming up next. One of many things. I'm gonna just talk about that. You get more information about everything else I have going on once you follow me.
That was the voice of UrHero SupaTim.
It's just my voice.
Huh?
It's just my voice. I'm on camera and it's just my voice.
It's just for me to, so I know you about to start talking so I can shut up.
I got you.
Just video, brother. Well,
I got all pretty.
I appreciate it. I'm at my office so you can see some pictures behind me too. So thank you for taking time.
It's always good seeing you, Mazi.
You as well, brother. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome, sir.